What's going on, my fellow A-plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new video. It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, and we're here as we are every Toku Tuesday with another Zenkaiger review as we're going to get into episode number 24 here this week. Probably the halfway mark. I don't know how many episodes we're getting, 48, 49, 50, maybe less than that. I have no idea, but I feel like we're definitely at the halfway point at this particular moment, which a little bit underwhelming, if I could be honest with you guys. I honestly thought that we would be a little bit further along in the story, knee deep in the nitty gritty with maybe some more mysteries and answers certainly solved. But it feels like we've been treading water, if I could be honest with you guys, for like the past 24 episodes. I do find it interesting that clearly in the halfway point of this season, there's maybe 6 episodes out of this entire season, I feel like, that are noteworthy of actually having to watch. It almost feels as though, you know, out of the 24 episodes, that they only take themselves seriously a quarter of the time to actually focus on actually telling a story at some particular point in time. So it feels like it's been a little bit all over the place in regards to its season. I mean, I know this episode dealt in the idea of vacation world and everybody taking a vacation. If you ask me, the people that took a vacation in this episode was the creative team. And I feel like they've probably been in vacation mode majority of this season in regards to how they certainly tackle this show. Now, listen, not every Super Sentai series is certainly built for everybody, right? Like I've said this countless times on my show before. I don't mind humor. I don't mind wittiness. I don't mind confusion. But if you're going to do all that, please back it up with great storytelling and a great storyline just overarching the entire series. This so far has just kind of been very ADHD, not really knowing the direction and certainly what it wants to do. I mean, the fact that we literally had a pretty semi-serious episode last week, even though if you ask me, the push for a Zenkaiger versus Stay Caesar, as much as they wanted us to certainly get hyped for that one-on-one battle, while it certainly delivered in other aspects of the area, in regards to that payoff of a battle, I felt a little bit underwhelmed by it, to be perfectly honest with you guys. So the fact that we got a semi-serious episode as of last week, I honestly thought that they would have carried that momentum, especially with the Kaido stuff, the Stacy stuff, Kaido's parents stuff at the end of episode 23. I honestly thought that they would take that momentum and continue along with it at least, but it definitely feels as though they were like, oh, we got that serious one out of the way. Let's take our foot off the pedal and just do whatever the hell that we want to in this episode. And it just didn't sit right with me this episode. Not to say that everything in here was not necessary. There are maybe 1 or 2 positives that I'm able to go ahead and take away from this episode, but overall, in regards to it actually mattering, I didn't see it in here. So it just felt like they really killed their own momentum, really didn't take advantage of the idea that we were finally getting into the nitty gritty of the story, just to kind of take a backseat, unfortunately. So for me, guys, bring on the trademark rumors at this particular point in time. Like, I'm ready. Like, my enthusiasm level is more in behind the idea of seeing what the next Super Sentai season is, and not necessarily caring so much against the Zenkaiger story itself. Great characters, big fan of Kaido, absolutely love Jurin. You know, Zox Goldtweaker and his sister, great for television, absolutely love them in this show. But as far as like quality and putting it all together, it's just been back and forth with me when it comes to this season. You guys have known, if you've been watching this show or the reviews, there are some days I'm absolutely loving it, some days it just completely misses the mark. And unfortunately for me in this week, it really hits the mark, because Zenkaiger was on vacation, Tojitendo was on vacation, and so were the creative writers in here. If there were any positives for this episode, any sort of bright spots in the episode that jumped out at me, I actually did enjoy the vacation theme for the most part. Getting the opportunity to see the Tojitendo sort of become victorious for a day was actually a breath of fresh air to kind of see that they got the upper hand on the Zenkaigers in here. And if you ask me, it was probably the Zenkaiger team that ruined this situation, because it felt very much like Zox Goldtweaker had the idea correctly of trying to beat this guy in the parking lot, right, where he couldn't really let his abilities showcase themselves. But when the Zenkaigers come on the scene and they throw him up into the air and he's got access to everything, that's when Vacation Time certainly does his business. So for me, it was pretty fun in regards to at least seeing the Tojitendo wanting to take a vacation as well, and seeing them kind of have some interactions with the Zenkaigers. But outside of that, I mean, that's pretty much all that I really cared about seeing in here. What did make me kind of laugh, though, was the idea that Barashitara comes in and sort of ruins it for everybody, right? Like, this could have been a true vacation world for the Tojitendo when, listen, after you start sending down, monsters after monsters, that's a lot of hard work. You might want to take a day off to sit back, relax, kick your feet up sort of thing, right? This would have been a fantastic vacation world. I love seeing even the henchmen really doing their best. Barashitara certainly had something fantastically in place for the Tojitendo, but because of the fact that he now sees the Tojitendo having a good time and being on vacation, he can't do that at all. He can't deal with it. So he certainly has to ruin the fun for everybody, which did make me kind of a little bit confused, because I thought to myself, like, well, Barashitara, if this is your monster that you sent down, didn't you know what its power set it's certainly capable of? And I guess maybe he just didn't expect his own generals and his own henchmen to take part in a vacation world. But when you're creating a vacation world, what else do you certainly expect, right? So again, the vacation theme was fun. It did have its moments of humor, but as far as advancing the story, really didn't do anything for me. And again, when you're Barashitara and you know that this is your monster's ability, you can't get butthurt when these are the things that certainly happened. You know what I mean? If anything did make me smile too, it was maybe the disappointment by the Zenkaigers at the end of the episode when they realized Vacation World has been killed off by one of his own. Like, everybody loved the idea of just playing, having fun, and the fact that Homeboy gets killed off by his own commander, and just seeing the disappointment in everybody, it certainly did make me chuckle. So, and I actually will give them credit in regards to the watermelon sort of smash contest or challenge that they had to do. I will give a shout out to just the camera work, some of the angles, the really long unedited shots just kind of moving around the warehouse. It really made for a very fun and dynamic sort of challenge, seeing them having to all just destroy their watermelons and things like that. So in that regards, I will give them a big props in regards to making that rather enjoyable for me. I mean, really no point in this episode outside of, like, let's just watch the Zenkaigers have fun. I mean, I know that there was a moment of contemplation at the end of this episode for Kaido where he starts thinking to himself, it was really nice to kind of get along with the Tojitendo. I wish we could do that all the time, but if that was the theme of the story, just lame and super simplistic as can be, I just definitely need a little bit more. Like, you got to make my brain work. You know what I'm saying? You really got to make me start thinking and caring about the characters, the main storyline, what's happening, what's not happening, some mystery, some reveals, something. And there's nothing wrong with the occasional sort of, let's just take a back seat and just do whatever we want to. But unfortunately, it has felt like that's the majority of this season, unfortunately. So nothing wrong with having fun, but damn, can we focus a little bit? That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. So halfway through the season, if you ask me, I feel like we've accomplished zilch, with the exception of a lot of teases, but unfortunately not a lot of reveals or payoffs. Now listen, every season can certainly change course and direction. I wasn't the biggest fan of Real Soldier. I thought that was very simplistic, very, what you see is what you get. It doesn't dig any deeper than that, really, until like the last 10 episodes of the season, where it really sort of picked up and finished off really well, if you ask me, in my opinion. So is there a chance for Zenkaiger to certainly redeem itself in my eyes? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not counting out this series as of yet. I'm just saying halfway point, it's definitely been very hit or miss for me this season. Some things I like, some things that I haven't. And so can Zenkaiger certainly turn it up a notch if they certainly wanted to? Absolutely. I'm really hoping that the last half of the season is maybe a little bit better, if not much better, than the first half. But again, these are just simply my A+ opinions. And when it comes to episode number 24, just didn't really care for it too much, guys. But again, they're just my A+ opinions. I want to know yours, though. What did you guys think about episode number 24? If you loved it, if you enjoyed it, what are the things and concepts about this episode that you certainly enjoyed? If there are character moments, storyline details that I missed that you want to further talk about and add to the discussion, I would definitely love to go ahead and know your thoughts about that in this week's episode in the live chat or the comment section box below after this particular video airs, guys. But other than that, I'm not going to waste your time. There really wasn't anything else in here for me to certainly dive deep into. So until next time, guys, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, keep it A+. Full throttle, non-stop. Talk to you guys later. Bye. If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a Patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/AplusOpinions, and as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.